Hello and welcome to the Dire Gentleman channel. My name is Gus Zagarella.
And whatever you do, don't look up.
And I'm here with Masters in Animation Meg Tootin. We're talking about a motion picture today.
Extravaganza.
Boy, howdy. We're talking about Jordan Peele's Nope. This is a movie.
Listen, 2022 has been a year that has delivered so many movies that I would, without a drop of exaggeration, describe as the movie ever. Everything Everywhere All at Once, RRR.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and now Nope. This is, I know it's hard to say because, his opening salvo of movies has been, really incredible for, a starting feature director, but this might be Jordan Peele's best movie.
That's such a wild thing to say about somebody who got, Best Screenplay Oscar for their first film, but Nope is just... It takes advantage of everything that a movie is, of every kind of thing that you can put in a movie. There are laughs. There are fucking disturbing moments that'll give you nightmares for several days. There's social commentary. There's gore, violence.
Mm-hmm.
It is spectacle. It's a movie that comments on itself because it is a movie about spectacle. It opens up with that Bible quote that is, "I will rain down filth. I will make you a spectacle." Which does happen in the movie.
That literally does happen. Filth does rain down. And the word spectacle is used by a lot of different characters to refer to a lot of different things. Also, as the marketing implies, this is an alien encounter movie. Typically, movies about alien encounters, especially from, America, from Hollywood, they tend to be some of the most, remembered movies of their time. Something about alien encounters can bring out the true creative spirit of the storyteller, because with an alien, it can symbolize anything, it can be anything, and in this, man, where do you want to begin?
I want to begin with saying that you are not ready for random chimp encounter. The movie starts with the Bible quote, and then we jump straight into a sitcom film set where an ape in human clothing has just killed about 3 people and is covered in blood and is kind of surveying its surroundings, and then it looks at the camera, and then we cut to the beginning of the present day section of the film, because all of the Gordy stuff happened in the 90s, and oh my god.
If a chimpanzee covered in blood doesn't send a chill down your spine, that and the fact that one of the victims' slippers has been knocked off and is pointed directly upward because it just landed at that angle.
Guessing, people are like, well, does that mean that the alien was there the whole time and then something, and...
They always do try to explain things like that, but the thing about the shoe that really got me, other than it just being a very striking image...
I've seen shoes do that.
No, like, stuff like that just happens in real life, but, other than being a striking image, what that made me feel was, this concept of bad miracles, which they talk about in the movie, of things happening in such a way that it feels improbable, but also horrible.
And people have said that, that is the bad, the shoe is kind of a bad miracle, or is kind of a miracle, because it's likely that, Ricky, his eyes were on the shoe, which meant he was not making eye contact with Gordy, which spared his life. So this movie is about, there's a lot of characters in this movie, but the 2 main characters are the Haywood siblings, OJ and Emerald. They are professional horse trainers. Their father dies in a freak accident where a 5-cent coin falls out of the sky, hits him in the eyeball, and kills him. The sort of police and the government say that it was it fell out of a passing prop plane, but, they obviously, as happens in these kinds of, alien invasion movies, they don't believe the government's story. They know something weird is going on in the sky. Following the death of their father, they're trying to keep this horse ranch that they own up and running, so they end up having to sell a lot of their horses to Ricky Jupiter Park. He owns a Gold Rush themed fun park across the valley from them. He is this former child actor who was the sole person to get away unscathed from the Gordy's Home massacre, where a trained chimpanzee got scared by popping balloons, went berserk, and killed 4 people, I think. Killed 4 people, mutilated a 5th, and only Ricky was spared.
Like, even in the present day, he's like an actor and kind of a performer, but like, it's so clear that he's played off the trauma of like being on a set where an animal like attacked everybody.
There's a part where they talk to him about what happened because he shows them his like secret sort of Gordy shrine that he charges people to look at because there is like a secret underground fan base for this show that was filmed with the chimp, Gordy's home. When they ask him about like what really happened that day, what was it like? He goes off on, well, you know, you've seen that Saturday Night Live sketch that they did, you know, where Chris Kattan plays Gordy and he's just crushing it.
Yeah, he's just murdering.
He's just murdering. He sounds exactly like that Bo Burnham sketch. The thing that's really funny about that is I found out Chris Kattan did play an ape man on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that's a fun reference.
That's a fun little pop cultural in-joke. I was thinking about it, like, yeah, 1998, like the peak era of like horrible violent tragedy befalls someone and the national response is to turn it into a meme. Tonya Harding, Lindy Chamberlain, Donald's Coffee Lady, that was that era. So it makes total sense that, like, there would have been a Saturday Night Live sketch making fun of the fact that a chimp mauled 4 people to death on live television. And it also makes sense that Ricky, as sort of a response, he would have felt as a defense mechanism like, oh, I have to get in on the joke immediately. I have to immediately be in on the joke or else I'm going to be tormented for the rest of my life. That reflects, like, one of the I would say 3 major themes of this movie is the commodification of disaster.
I mean, it does make sense given what we talked about with the monster having the shape of an eyeball that he kind of gobbles up the entire audience.
When you look at it from that lens, you know, obviously Jean Jacket is representative of the uncritical eye of the audience and how the entertainment industry quite literally chews people up and spits them back out. Which I guess is as good a time to mention what the sort of the big twist of the movie is. Jean Jacket, the alien presence, is not a saucer, but a sort of sky whale eldritch abomination.
And you're like, I don't want to live in a world with this thing, because the moment where it does attack Jupiter's claim and the whole, like, you know, sucks up the audience and Jupe himself.
You get an internal shot. It really reminded me of Killer Clowns from Outer Space because it looks like plastic on the inside.
It kind of just looks like they're being, like, sort of pulled through a big top. And it's just so horrifying, too, because, like, you know, the second you sort of, like, know that, like, that's where they are and, like, they're not being abducted, they're being eaten, instantly it becomes visceral and disturbing and terrifying.
I'm gonna give Jordan Peele this. Like, the Gordy's Home Massacre and the scene where everybody from the Jupiter's Claim Starlight Lasso Spectacular is getting digested, 2 of the most disturbing things I've seen in a movie recently.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. You hear their screams as, like, the aforementioned raining down of filth occurs.
And then there is a crunch. The screaming stops, and then the house is doused with blood.
Doused with blood and all of, like, the metal objects, all of the, like, things that could be not digested by this. This creature goes so hard. This movie goes so hard. Any movie that would have just the Gordy's Home Massacre or just a creature that, like, eats this many people with no survivors, both of those moments would be disturbing. Putting them together makes this movie that does have moments of levity, does have lovable characters, does have characters you want to succeed, and like a beautiful, beautiful, like, visual world as well that the characters inhabit. Like, so many shots in this are just beautiful and make you want to smile, but it is an unsafe, unkind world with violent beings.
That is the second sort of major theme of this movie. The movie is sort of broken up into chapters that are named after an animal that appears in that chapter. So for the most part, it's the names of the horses that the Haywood siblings train. Ghost, Clover, and Lucky, and then there's Gordy, and then finally Jean Jacket. So in the Gordy chapter, you get a full flashback. A young Ricky is sitting under the table, and his face is sort of half obscured, and he's watching as the sitcom dad comes in, is mauled to death by Gordy. Then the girl, who is later, you see her as an adult, Gordy hears her like whimpering and starts ripping her face off. And there's furniture blocking this. So you see like blood splatter, but you don't see any actual gore, which to me makes it more disturbing.
Yeah, because you know from the bloodstains on Gordy's chin that he's been like eating them, like biting their faces.
Because the shot is all fixed from Ricky's point of view, you feel like you are there. Like it doesn't cut away to like a better angle of the violence. It's one shot. So when Gordy sees Ricky, like you see in the promotional photos around the Gordy shrine, Ricky's character on the show and Gordy the chimp would do like a little exploding fist bump. He takes the party hat off his head. He looks at Ricky. He goes over to Ricky, like unbearably slow. This scene is so tense. He goes over to Ricky, gets really close to Ricky, and then when you think like Ricky's gonna scream or something, and then Gordy's gonna be set off again and be shot or whatever, because you can hear the security coming in at this point. Gordy goes in for the exploding fist bump, and Ricky returns the exploding fist bump, and just as their fists touch each other, the SWAT team comes in and Gordy's brains are blown out. Perfect encapsulation of this movie's theme of like exploitation. The moment where Gordy goes in for the exploding fist bump, he recognizes that Ricky is the subject of exploitation. He recognizes something of himself in Ricky, which is why he goes in for the fist bump. Because Ricky is, not only is he like the youngest member of this cast, he's also the only person of color in this cast because he is the token Asian child in this otherwise white family. Ricky misinterprets that as, rather than being Gordy was showing him empathy, as I have a special connection with Gordy and that's why he spared me. And he extrapolates that, so when Jean Jacket starts showing up at Jupiter's Claim and eating the horses, he feeds the horses to Jean Jacket, thinking that he is forming a bond with what he believes to be the benevolent, intelligent pilots of Jean Jacket, which he, in his own mind, represents as creatures that look like chimpanzees. They've got skull-shaped faces and hairy bodies.
You know what's a fascinating detail about the whole Gordy thing is that, like, Ricky even says this at one point, that the chimpanzee that went berserk on set and killed all those people was only one of the chimpanzees that plays Gordy. So this wasn't even, like, a connection with the, like, kind of, like, this is the Gordy. This was just one stressed out animal. And the fact that, like, Ricky saw this as, like, such a formative moment when, like, really all that occurred was an animal was exploited and tried to reach out to him in its last moments in some way to kind of, like, desperately, like, get back that goodwill.
Yeah.
Like, that thing was put down because ultimately it wasn't Gordy. Gordy was a product.
Yeah, Gordy is a construct. Gordy's a character that is played by a number of exploited animals.
And it's a lot like, in a weird way, you could tie this into great-great-great-grandfather Haywood, who isn't even named, is just essentially a prop along with the horse. Like, to the white man, both the horse and him are serving the same function of being this thing on film.
And they kind of bring that back again because Emerald, when she's looking at the stuff that Jupiter has from, like, the other, the movie that he was in, Kid Sheriff, she goes, oh, whatever happened to that black kid with the 3D glasses? I used to like him. It's, it's still, in the modern day, people of color are not getting credited for the work that they put in. They are just seen as tokens to the white audience.
The fact that, like, Jean Jacket being this kind of eyeball, this gaze, this thing that just, like, eats up everything, the fact that they, in the end, get a look at it, turn its own, like, make it the spectacle for once.
And then obviously, like, the third theme of this movie is specifically sort of a Jurassic Park-esque, don't try to control nature. Like, Jean Jacket is the antagonist, the macro conflict, and then you get, like, a tiny version of that with the Gordy's Home Massacre, and then you get an even tinier version of that where the first scene where OJ is trying to wrangle a horse for this commercial, he tells everybody on set not to look it in the eye. Someone gets too close to the horse, and the horse gets upset and ends up kicking somebody, which results in OJ being fired from the job. And also, it's like the reason that, you know, the Haywards are the only people that could take down Jean Jacket is because they are horse people. They know how to think like an animal, because that's the sort of skill that you need to develop when you are any kind of animal wrangler.
And you know what's like really fascinating too is that it's this shared understanding, mostly between OJ and the horses. Like M is way more like detached from the horses in a way.
She's more of the business. She's the business person of the family, whereas Otis is the horse guy.
OJ has this connection with the horses, especially Lucky, that, like, is this running thing throughout it that allows them to, like, face Jean Jacket on its level. But, like, in, like, the early scene, we do get a bit of social commentary with, like, the white people on set, basically treating OJ as a go-between between, like, white people and the horse. He's the one who, like, has to be like, you tell the horse what's up, what's going on here. And it's just so clear that, like, he is less a person on set and more a translator for the animal performer.
Which is another thing, that's like the Gordy's home thing. Like, people of color, animals, child actors, they're all treated about the same.
I think there's going to be a lot of videos out there that are like, doing sort of the, let's explain the origin of the creature, or let's explain kind of like what occurred, like the standard events of it.
I hate the people who are like, well, the Gordy shit didn't come back. It's called backstory. It informs his character as an adult, and it informs the themes of the movie.
Yeah, the other thing is that, like, yes, it fully did, because, like, Jupe wouldn't be making his decisions this way. He wouldn't have literally caused the events of the movie. Like, in some way, and I like Ricky/Jupe. I really do. I like him. I find him to be a sympathetic character.
I think he's a great character. I love, Steven Yeun really sells that kind of, like, dead behind the eyes, laughing through the pain.
Even though I like him, and even though he's, like, the sort of deuteragonist of the movie, he is also a force that has enabled the antagonist to take hold over the valley.
The thing about Jupe is that the character that I think he's most like from like an existing monster movie is Carl Denham from King Kong.
Oh, yeah.
They're really similar characters when you think about it. Of, these like show business guys who think that they can tame this absolute natural force, then end up wreaking havoc on their communities and getting a bunch of people killed in the process. And I don't think it's any mistake that the animal that the backbone of Jupe's tragic backstory is an ape.
That's a very strong connection there.
Jupe is probably based on Carl Denham. Jordan Peele has said that King Kong was an influence on this movie.
Denham getting consumed by Jean Jacket, like, it's
yeah.
There's something there.
Denim, jean jacket, is this anything?
I don't know how anyone could look at that final moment of Jupe, sort of looking up as the tornado is consuming all the people, as we see their bodies flying into the air, as his, like, wife and child and, like, his first crush, sort of the alpha and omega of, like, everyone he's ever cared about, is being sucked away. You can't look at that scene and not imagine that he's not thinking about how he's lived since the Gordy incident.
Yeah, he is definitely, like, flashing back to Gordy.
His story is such a tragedy, and it's like...
It is.
It's one of those things where you see his story as a tragedy, and then you see the story of the Haywoods alongside it, of a story of triumph. Both stories are true, and both are about the same thing. Both are about this exploitative, powerful gaze.
They're both about this horrible, carnivorous, cannibalistic business we call show.
Yep. And on that note, go see Nope multiple times in theaters.
Please go see Nope. I am definitely going to go see it again.
I want to go see it again.
See it in IMAX if possible, because it was filmed in IMAX.
Oh, and if you're going to AMC, the drink they have based on the movie, The Bad Miracle, is really good.
I need to try that. I didn't get to try it last time because I was driving. I will go to the cinema sometime. I will take a bus or an Uber, and I will specifically do that so that I can try The Bad Miracle, because it did look very, very nice.
We sure do love the movies over here, don't we?
Yeah, it's film. Yeah.
In film, in cinema. Try it now. Go see it. Don't say nope to Nope. Say yes. Go watch it.
And we won't be seeing you because we're not looking.
We're not looking at you, but we'll be back.
We will not look
in the near future.
Yeah.